I thought my door was worse than this. I don't know that I'm gonna go with that new door that I got. That might just be a wall piece right there, but I only paid 40 bucks for it. I need to fix this glass piece here eventually. I need to figure out why this. I might have to just weld supports or something in here. As you can see how floppy it is. I think it's down here that it's detached. It needs to be attached to something. But man, we got a lot of work to do, and this is not going to be done anytime soon. This is not a project that's going to be quick. This is going to take a long time. It's going to be a long process. You guys are just going to have to bear with me. I still don't have all the parts that I want. I've been just kind of slowly piecing them together. No body panels yet. I didn't get any of those. As you know, I want to lower this thing. I got wheels, which the positive offset on those things, we're going to need some good spacers, but they don't have to come out to the end of the fender. I mean, I'm thinking, I don't know, 2 or 3 inch spacer. I really don't want to go 4 inch, but these wheels, let me set them up next to this thing so you can get an idea. But this thing's going to be, I think I'm doing a 4 and a 6 inch drop on this thing. It's going to be low, and it's going to be slow. Now, it's going to be, I don't know. I'm going to try to stick the same diameter tire, but with a 19. So we're going to do a little bit of low profile here. I got my LED lights. I can maybe throw those in and see what it looks like. I want to strip the interior. I think that's the first thing we're going to do on this. And I still really don't have a plan for this thing. So I just know certain things I want to do and certain things that I like how I want this to look. It's not going to be everybody's taste, okay? So I'm doing the truck how I would if I was keeping it. I'm not keeping it, but I'm going to fix this truck up to how I would want it if I did it. You know what I mean? Like if it was my truck. So if it's not your taste, I'm sorry. Just stick along for the ride. You'll get to see how it turns out anyways. But roll pans, we're going to be removing the bumpers. We're going to be doing a bunch of panel work. I don't know if we're doing new bedsides or if I'm going to do a bunch of work to these ones. This one I don't think has as much putty as the other one, but it does. Patch panel there with some putty. Patch panel there. It's just, I would rather start with a new panel, to be honest. We need rockers. Well, actually, that rocker's not that bad. We need a cab corner anyways. But, yeah, that rocker's not near as bad as I thought it was. Maybe it was the driver's side. Yeah, the driver's side is like 3 or 4 patch panels. So we're definitely going to be doing this side, maybe not the passenger side. There's a patch panel back there, the cab corner. So we'll be doing cab corners, rockers at least. This fender, yeah, it's just rotting out right here. And these fenders are not that expensive. Yeah, it's rotting out down there too. These fenders aren't that expensive. Dented right here. So we'll probably just replace those inner fenders. We're going to need those. This bedside has putty in it a good bit. So as you can see right here, I haven't even got a screwdriver on that yet, but there's a lot of putty in that right there. And I'm probably going to be painting this thing in stages. Like the whole truck's not going to get painted at once. But probably like start with like the doors and stuff like that. I need to fix whatever's going on with that door. This door is solid, the one I got, and it's got a good glass, but it's also broken down here, so that must be common on these. But you can buy new glass and everything, but it's like almost $400 a piece. So I don't know. The window tracks work on that. It's just maybe I'll just get one glass. This one works fine. Thanks, air compressor. I know another thing, I just thought about it today while I was coming out here. I want to do away with these big side mirrors. I kind of want to go, since we're lowering it and everything, I kind of want to go with hood-mounted mirrors right here. So that's another thing I kind of want to do custom. So then I'll have to weld the hole shut and stuff in the door. But I think it's going to look slick like that with the, you know, big mirrors off of it. I don't know. I want to do a roll pan in the front. But you know what? Let me set one of these wheels up here and we can kind of get an idea of what they're going to look like. think? It's your new truck. Huh? You said you wanted a truck at one point in time.
Goodbye.
What do you mean? So, honestly, I was going to do the wheels all black, but, man, that kind of looks good with the machine face. But, I mean, for the idea I want to do on this, I'm still thinking all black is going to be the best option. Plus, it's going to have a better finish on it. But I kind of want to still stick with that diameter of tire. But, you know, on 19-inch wheels, so I'm going to have to get measurements to see where they stick. We might go a little bit smaller, but not a lot. It's really hard to put in perspective what they're going to look like on there, honestly. So, I mean, the wheels stick in as it is. The offset on these wheels, they don't have near as much positive offset. So, and look at that, we got a lug missing. I hope the rest of these were tight. Oh yeah, we're definitely getting them refinished. I didn't realize how scratched up that's the first time I've seen that. And this has been on the bottom of the other rim, so that didn't just happen. There's scratches over here too. They're pretty nice ones. So getting these refinished, I'm actually gonna have to grind that down before he powder coats them. They're gonna look way better because of that. So all black, but we got to do a wheel spacer because we need an adapter, because these are a weird pattern. You see how long that hub is on that too? That's another thing that's a factor. We're gonna have to get a spacer adapter that will fit over that hub, and it's gonna have to stick out past that hub, probably out to about here for the wheel to bolt on, so that we get a good offset. I was highly surprised. I took my jumper pack and everything because I'm like, I'm gonna have to jump start this thing. It's been sitting out there for months. Nah, couple pumps of the throttle, couple turns of the key. That's also what I do to my wife. And what I found the best cheap touchscreen on the market is this PLZ MP800, or the MP900 is the new one. Under $100, and it's a touchscreen. Now it's not huge, but I want this in this truck. I want to have a touchscreen, so I would like it right in this area right here. As you can see, we're gonna have to do some cutting to even get it close to there. And then it's also, this tilts in as it goes down, and I kind of want it flat, so it might not be mounted perfectly flat on the bottom, but if I can Dremel that perfect, we can take the trim ring off of this thing. That even cuts down on the size even more. And as you can see, it'll fit there. So if I do it right, it's black on the bottom, so if I mount it in an angle like this inside there, that's gonna look awesome. And I'm just discussing everything, like so much stuff going through my head, and I just need to start somewhere. But we're gonna be stripping this interior out. I got the Silverado seats. I want to rhino line the whole inside of this, inside of the door panels, roof, everything. So is that kind of like, it'll seal it. This thing has solid floors. I don't think there's any holes. When we strip the carpet up, we'll get to see. But that's gonna seal everything and keep like water and stuff from getting penetrating and getting through and putting holes in this thing. So we will be Raptor lining this thing. That's going to help also with sound deadening. And I thought originally just to do like dyno mat inside of here, but I think the Rhino lining is the better option on the inside of this thing. We'll get everything coated and with a rubberized, you know, thick coating inside of here. And it's going to stink for a little bit. It's going to need to air out, but it's going to help with the durability on the interior. Now I kind of want to change up the whole theme inside of here, and all of these panels are metal, so I want to get all this stripped. And when I Raptor line everything, I kind of want to Raptor line these metal panels as well, because I kind of want a theme of gray and black in here. I'd like to get a black dash pad, a new one, and replace this one. So this is black. The seats are going to be gray. Carpet, I want to get black carpet, and with the Raptor liner, everything else is going to be black inside of here. unless I can't find these panels, but there's a lot of panels missing out of here anyway, so we might just go panelless, and that'll just save us time and money by just doing everything with the Raptor liner. Now, I don't think I need to mess with any of the window tracks and stuff on the passenger window, because that one is rarely used. But this driver's side one, I'm thinking we might just do a whole new window track and everything. We have the glass, it's good. Door handle and everything works. Like I said, I'm going to try to save this door, but if not, I got that other door with dents in it. But they're better than reman doors, I can tell you that. Reman doors suck on these things, and this honestly, it might be a reman door, and that might be why it is floppy. Now, I just took this seal out, and I'd say that is the main reason why our door's floppy. Look at this crack right inside of here. So, is it focusing? You see this crack, and it extends the whole way to the front side. So I'm thinking maybe I might put a support bar through the inside of there and weld it in, but I got to leave these slots open because of this trim piece that I just took off. There's a little bit of rust in there and stuff, and it's going to be okay, but I need to get that welded back together with the door in like this. Well, this thing's just floppy all around. Let me tell you, this thing was a pain to get on the lift where I was comfortable getting underneath it, okay? Everything's greasy and dirty, which is expected for a truck this old. But I'm not seeing any, like, significant leaks. All this is water. It's all wet from sitting in that field like I had it. The frame up front is dang near like new the whole way around. Of course, the oil will probably help that. Frame to right here is good, and this is underneath the cab right here. Frame rail still really good. There is a disconnected fuel line right there. I'd say it rotted out and they replaced it. We're going to be going all over this thing, and the frame in the back is going to need some attention. As you can see, it's still not thin, but it's rusty back here, so we need to address that when we have the bed off. There's some brake lines zip tied up in there. There is a line that's about to pop. Whether that is a active brake line or not, that needs replaced big time. I'd say it is. So, I mean, I'm not skimping on this thing as means of mechanically wise, so that brake line is going to need replaced. The bed is solid. I don't see any holes in it. It all looks good. Back here, everything's pretty decent. Right there, that panel needs replaced. Yeah, there's not even one on this side. So we're losing the bumper. We're keeping the hitch. There's a lot of wiring it looks like needs redone. With that stereo I'm putting in, I am putting a backup camera on this thing because it's always nice to have a backup camera. And I'm going to have the bed off at the time. For some reason, I thought there was a cross member that was rotted underneath this thing in the back, and I am glad to say that it's not. I think it's just this spare tire carrier I was seeing sitting in here at an angle. I looked under from the back. I swear there was something rotted out. I don't see it now. But we'll be able to look at it more when we get the bed off. And like I said, I'm going to be treating everything with... actually, I would use wool wax, but I think this thing needs a little bit more than that to protect it. So we might put some POR on everything. That means everything's going to have to be wire wheeled. It's going to be a mess in here. I don't know what the fuel tank strap was originally supposed to be bolted to, but it's not bolted to anything. And neither is that one. So maybe that's just a protector? No, that's a support. So they need to be fixed. This fuel tank looks like it was replaced. It looks pretty new. There's a plastic cover on that one that's not on this one. That's what's missing on this. There's a plastic cover missing. So that would help. Oh, that's what that bolts to too. Those bolts go through the plastic cover and hold it on there. And as you can see, the way they routed the exhaust gives me minimal space to get my lift arms in here. I had to pull the emergency brake wire right there down around the lift before I put it up. Up front, we're on the frame. But yeah, it's not very easy to get on my lift. And then I had to put longer arms on the back as well to get it up like that. Thankfully, I got oil pan valve cover gaskets. As you can see, these valve covers are leaky. I don't know if it's leaky on both sides. Yes, it is. So that's where these come along with brand new gaskets with these hold downs that push on these evenly the whole way across. So we'll be putting those on. Also, I figured it out. There's supposed, on the intake manifold itself, you can get a tube that fits in it. You know, I might have to machine the hole out or drill the hole out so that it fits, but that goes down into the V of the engine, so you can fill the engine up from that spot. And that just makes a lot more sense than trying to modify these valve covers so that I can put oil in through those. I was highly surprised that that hub fits inside that wheel, but they don't bolt out. The bolt pattern's wrong. So we are going to have to get an adapter. And I did a measurement, and what I did was, with it up there, it's against the lugs right now, I measured how much room I have back here from the hub to the back of the wheel, and it's just a little bit over an inch. It's right around there. And then with this sitting flat like this, I measured from the surface of the wheel to the inside lip of this fender here, and I'm getting right around 3 inches. It's going to actually be a little bit more than 3 inches to get it right to the edge of that lip. Doing a bunch of suspension work and stuff, it's going to be fine. We're going to do an axle flip kit on this. We also need to C-notch the frame. So if you didn't notice where these bump stops are, it was really rusty right there where that bolts in. This section's going to get cut out. So that actually... What? There's air shocks on this thing? There is. All right, so looking at this thing, it does have air assisted shocks, but they are just teed into each other. I followed the line over here, comes through right here, goes straight over through here and straight to the other shock. So they're just teed together, and there's no way to adjust that. With the 4 and 6 inch drop that I'm getting, it comes with shocks and all of that. So we're still doing away with all that. We're going to simplify this thing a good bit. Modernize the interior, simplify the exterior. There's lots of things going on here. But one thing I am anxious for is to see these wheels on here. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out the specs of my wheel spacers, and I'm going to go ahead and order those now. So, and I want to get hub centric so that the wheel fits, and we're not all on lugs. They need to be hub centric. So I need to get this right the first time. So I'm going to do all my measurements and stuff, order those, and then I have a product review I got to show you. So just sit tight. Okay, so here's what it's looking like. Now, I don't have to go 3 inch spacer. I can go 2.5. I'm thinking I might go 2.5 because I actually like the tucked in look of these as opposed to like out against the lip. But anyways, the truck is 5x127, which is a oddball pattern, but that's what these are. And then the hub center on both of them, front and back, is 77.5. Now this is millimeters. That's how you measure them. The wheels I have are 5x114.3, and the hub centers, luckily I couldn't get my calipers in there to measure that, but this guy gave me adapter rings to fit the hub. He had them on a Camry, so they have a smaller hub. This would be the Camry center. This is the wheel center. So I just measured the outer diameter of these, which is 79.8 millimeters. So that way we get a tight fit inside of here. You actually have to hammer them in because they're so tight. But that's what they are. Buying wheel adapters has served to be a problem. I can have them custom made, and what did it turn out to? 2 of them was about $280. And that's with lugs and everything, but $280 for 2 of them. So I'd have had over $500 in wheel adapters. I ended up finding a set that had the right center bore for these hubs, but they don't have a hub-centric ring on the outside. Now that worries me a little bit, but hear me out. They're aluminum, okay? And these hub-centric rings that are on these are aluminum. So anyways, with 2-inch, what it turns out to be is right to the end of this. So this would fit right there, okay? So what I'll do, so I have a buddy that can weld aluminum, is you see I already put one of the rings inside there. I'm going to bolt the hub to that, and then from the back side, I ought to be able to get in there. Well, not me, but my buddy. Get in here from the back side and weld that in on the inside so that it has a hub-centric ring on it. So it's not relying on just the lugs, because I don't like that. But there just happens to be enough space here for weld. And so I think that's the route we're going. I already ordered all those spacers, all the lugs and everything, and that only got 2-inch spacers. I could have went a little bit further, but I wanted to put some wider tires on this. So I know this is a lot of talk, but I'm just, there's just so much going on now. I just found a set of tires the size that I want. I found 3 of them on Marketplace, brand new. Guy only has 3 of them. He wants $100 for. So I just messaged him, if I can go get those, I'm going to go get those. I found the same exact tire on bestusedtires.com, brand new, for $151. So for $250, well, with tax and stuff, $260, I'm going to have 4 brand new tires on these wheels. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to save everywhere I can, because this is not going to be cheap by any means. All right, now for the product review. This is something a little different. This is not car related, but we all like to have our things secure, and we also like to see, you know, if things go down on your property that aren't supposed to go down. So maybe you might want a little bit of security at your house, a little bit of surveillance on your property. Reolink reached out to me, wanted to know if I wanted to do a review on their cameras. And I already have, well, we have 4 cameras around our house. And we have 2 360 cameras in the house that we can move. And now we're going to have 2 360 cameras outside that are solar powered. They don't have to be hooked to the house at all. You don't have to hook them to power. The ones that I have in the house are wireless, but you have to connect them to a power source. These come with a solar panel so that they power themselves. They have an internal battery that recharges itself in the sun, or you can recharge it by plugging it in. So I was highly surprised at how nice these things are. I figured, you know, I'm getting some Chinese crap, you know, like I always do. No, these things are freaking nice. There's an app for them. Let me show you. You open it up, and they give you manuals here. There's foam to protect it. This is the actual camera unit itself. Now, my only gripe out of all of this is having a surveillance camera outside. I would have rather have had black, because white sticks out like a sore thumb. And honestly, I don't want people knowing that I have cameras out there. So here it is. There's a battery built into this. There's also a slot somewhere. Oh, right there. Micro SD card. Now that is convenient. I don't have an SD card in mine right now, but if you have an SD card in there, then you can do video playback. Now, depending on how big a card you put in there, that's going to be how far you can play back. Also has a built-in microphone. You can talk through these, and they're motorized, so you can move it completely around 360 and up and down. Now, all the power ports and stuff are sealed. They have a rubber seal on them. That's where you plug your antenna in. This one I have not had out of the box yet, so I'm going to go ahead and plug it in and charge it right now. So the orange light means it's charging. When it goes green, that means it's fully charged. Now the solar panel is also very nice. And it comes with about a 20-foot cord. See so you don't have to mount it right where the camera's at. But as you can see, it's got this rubber seal on it right here. So where I'm charging it right now, this will plug in, and then you'll push this inside of there so that water can't get in. And it also comes with a post that you will mount onto a wall or something, or a ceiling or whatever, and then that screws into it and you direct it towards the sunlight. So I already mounted one, and I mounted it really far away, and it's pretty nice that it's actually picking up. You have to connect it to your Wi-Fi, so do that before you mount them. But this is the low fi setting, so this is like supposed to be more smooth. Like, it's still really laggy because it's really far away. It's down at the edge of my property, and my Wi-Fi is in the computer room, which is 2 rooms over there. So as you can see, I'll show you, it's a little bit laggy, but I can move the camera. 1080 is the highest definition that it can do. Let me show you that. It's not as fluent, but it is definitely clearer. And also, like I said, you have the talk feature. This is to move it, and you have the playback feature right there if you have an SD card in. America. So the camera's right there. I ran the cord through that hole there, kind of tied it across the back. They give you that strap for strapping your wires up, and then I ran it right up to the camera right there. There you go. So if you want to get yourself one of these 360 solar powered cameras, go down to the link in my description, get yourself a little discount on your purchase.
I'm watching you.
But that's going to bring us to the end of this episode. I know I did a lot of rambling, a lot of talking. I didn't plan on working on the truck today. I just wanted to bring it to the house because I'm not tearing it down yet, because we have to do the plasti dip job on Ashley's car, and that's going to be next weekend. So if you like this video, smash that like button, consider subscribing. Hit that dislike button if your mom's had a rod blown through her. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Alright.
Have a sick kitty, and it's not this one. She never gets sick. Why? I don't know. Stu Man ate this morning, and now he won't eat, and as you can see, he's just mopey. So we're gonna take him to the vet tomorrow and see what's wrong with him. I don't know why he's the one that always gets sick. But yep, just not himself. And this is the spot he lays every time he gets sick. This is where he wants to lay, right by the front door.